Hello everyone, I'm Adrian,
I am Gülhis.
and this is Almost Balanced, a podcast about navigating life without pretending we have it all figured out.
Here we explore different themes, experiences, and questions, sometimes messy, sometimes mindful, but always honest.
And we want to invite you to join the conversation, reflect with us, and find your own version of balance along the way. Hello everyone, welcome one more week to our podcast. How are you, Gulhis?
I am very well, Adrian. Actually, I am not very well. I am a bit sick. Maybe you understand from my voice. But we tend to stay very well. But it feels good recording this podcast with you. How are you?
I'm fine, I'm good now, and today we're gonna talk about the nervous system and how do we regulate our nervous system and what do we do to calm our body and to feel more relaxed when life gets overwhelmed and we are so stressed. So, Gulhis, I know you know more about this topic. So, if you want to tell us what is the nervous system, how does it work?
Yeah, of course. Our nervous system is the part of us that decides we are safe or not. If we regulate our nervous system, it really helps us on our reactions when we are under pressure or when we feel stress. So I think it is really important to be aware of our body, our nervous system, our emotions, so we know when to act, to regulate it, to cope with challenging situations in our lives. So, modern life is full of challenging, stressful situations. Our business life, professional life, personal life, our health. So, you can regulate your nervous system by breathing practices, walking or exercising, yoga, meditation, just slowing down a little bit and be aware of our presence and emotions and our physical conditions. So, Adrian, you are not focused on your nervous system maybe as a concept, but I know that you are a person taking care of your mental and physical well-being and you have really good routines and habits. And I would like to ask, how do you understand that your nervous system is dysregulated and you should do something to protect your well-being?
Yeah, you're right that I didn't hear about nervous system until a couple of weeks ago, maybe, or months, because we are hearing this concept in social media a lot. But yeah, I can recognize this nervous system and how does it work for me in my daily life, because I feel like there is moments in my life when I feel overwhelmed, stressed, and I live in autopilot, like I live automatically and I do things because I have to, and I got the routine. But when there is like a couple of weeks or even a month that I'm in that mood, like in that autopilot, I feel exhausted, I feel really tired, and I need a moment to stop and to take a moment for me to sit down and to write down how I'm feeling now, what I've been doing these past weeks, because sometimes when we live this quickly, we don't realize what we are doing or why we are doing the things that we do. So yeah, I like to write down the things that I miss doing, like my hobbies. I mean, like journaling or take a walk without anything else, just walking without music, without anything, even without the phone, and just like live more present and slow. I also like to exercise. So yeah, to your question, I feel exhausted when I'm overwhelmed and I lose the notion of time. How do you manage this and how do you recognize you are in this autopilot?
First of all, if I'm under stress and tired for a long time, I start becoming a grumpy person. I react faster and maybe a little bit like harsher than I do in like my usual times. So I really start reacting instead of responding, and my mind starts working faster. I find myself like thinking so many different things at the same time. So I think it is like my problem, like my main goal to regulate my nervous system is to slow down really mentally. And yeah, this is how I understand that something is not going well. I am just reacting, and my mind works so fast, and I am not in balance. I feel so tired and I cannot focus on something. So this is a kind of sign for me to slow down and do something, or maybe like not doing anything in my space for a while.
What do you like to do when you realize you
Yeah,
are dysregulated?
exactly. And breath work is my main tool how to cope with all these emotions and feelings. Because, as I told you, I'm a breath guide, and there are some techniques to slow down or activate our energy. So I kind of practice them. That is my main tool, I can say. And if I am able to, of course, like going to gym, just spinning or dancing with some people there. So, and then just changing agenda on my mind and being back what I have been doing with a clear mind and a relaxed body. So, because it helps your blood pressure decrease and your hormones work better. So I'm gonna repeat myself, but we are mechanic human bodies. So, when you start changing something physically also, it affects your emotional realm as well. So this is what I am doing actually. I remember when we were chatting, so you mentioned about your thesis, you worked about the social media triggers our. So can you just explain? You can explain better, but I think it might be related to that.
Yeah, it's everything's related here. Yeah, I did my final project, my degree about what are the consequences of using too much social media and algorithms to young people. And I think it's everything related to this, to nervous system. We think we use the phone or social media to calm our stress life. Like we've been working so stressfully in the morning, we get home, we eat, watching something on the laptop, and then we go and scroll in your phone. Like it's your moment to relax, you think. But actually, I think it stimulates more your brain and you feel even more stressed after this moment of being with your phone, social media. You unconsciously compare yourself with others, your life with others. So, I mean, that's the in general. And in my case, I can say it's true. I feel I'm wasting my time while I'm on my phone and scrolling. It's true that sometimes I get fun, like I love, and I watch funny videos. So yeah, I think we should take these moments that we have free instead of scrolling on your phone to resume those activities or those hobbies that you like to do in the past or something that you really like to start. Maybe you'd like to start painting or writing or exercising, I don't know. Or you can just relax watching a long video. That's better than scrolling
Mm-hmm.
because your intention. Or you can just be and lay down and be bored because most of the times when we are bored, the best ideas come up with when you are bored. So yeah, I think that's really good for our nervous system. The overstimulation nowadays, it's insane. So yeah, we
Yeah.
should be really aware. Do you think you fight with this in your daily life?
I
Day?
do, definitely I do, It is so easy to watch all these funny reels on Instagram, just swiping, and it feels like, oh, I'm just laughing, sending some fun memes to my friends. but as you just told, it triggers more and feel more exhausted after that. So it is always easier to get distracted by screens like visuals, videos, but it doesn't contribute to our well-being. So it is a good reminder for all of us. We tend to fight, flight, freeze. Flight when we don't feel good. Our audience, our listeners, if you are kind of running away from stress or something, maybe just stop scrolling down after listening us. Just do something for yourself. Just lay down, just read something, just be aware of your breath for 3 minutes at least. So it's gonna change something, even if it's little, right?
Yeah, even if it's just a minute or whatever. I also
Exactly.
forgot to say that a part of social media and scrolling, also having the phone so close to our body and notifications and things make us feel that urgent of missing out, or let's see if someone has texted me or something. So yeah, I think the phone nowadays, it's making us all feel more stressed and really dysregulating our nervous system. The first step, I think, is being aware of that, so then you can make changes. And as you said, with just a little thing that you change, it's gonna change something inside your body.
And it is about prioritization. Like, we have so many things to do, and are we prioritizing ourselves? And maybe it should be a topic for another episode. So, when we start being aware of our well-being and when we want to prioritize with these like activities we already mentioned, then something starts getting lighter and softer in us. I think it is important. And also, like, I saw my notes, I just wrote, calm is not a personality when I was just getting prepared for our episode. Maybe also it's good to share, because we see some people are so stressful, are always in rush. We see some people, they are calmer, they enjoy life. So it is also a choice to learn how to create a life that you are in line with yourself, how to feel in balance, but also almost balanced when you are coping with so many things in life. So, do you believe in that?
Yeah. Uh, Calm, it's something, as you said, you can choose in certain moments of your day, but it's not possible to be always calm, always relaxed. Of course, you can be a calmer person. For example, me, I consider myself a calm person, but there is situations where I feel stressed and I'd like to shout and yell at people, although I'm a calm person. But it's something that you can choose in your life. For example, I like to have my moment after lunch to drink my coffee and just watch some video. And that's like my moment. I'm being calm. I don't want anyone to disturb me in that moment. And it's something that I choose to do. I could choose, I don't know, get angry at the news or what's happening in the world, but I choose to be in that moment with myself and be aware of that moment. So yeah, and I wanted to ask you as well, before you were aware of this, like the nervous system and all this kind of stuff, how did you cope with this? Maybe when you were younger or you weren't aware of it.
Yeah, a good question. I couldn't. I had always like severe migraine, like headaches. I remember myself taking so many medications to relieve my pain, because I really suffered from migraine before being aware of all these, before prioritizing my well-being. So my answer is I couldn't. I was a stressful person. Like, I was closing myself, focusing on one thing to be able to cope with it, because my energy was already consumed when I was thinking or overthinking about some other things. This is also like you are kind of trying to find a better way to enjoy life in a healthy way when you suffer from something, because you know that this is something that you don't want to keep in your life. So I started with meditation in my young age, but also I really struggled with it. If I need to be like really open and vulnerable here, of course I can have a like better answer, but also it is good to remember that it hasn't been always like this. There is some work needed to feel better, like to feel healthier mentally and physically. So at least in my case. And what about you?
Yeah, as I just mentioned at the beginning, I wasn't aware of the thing that this is the nervous system, but since I was really young, I did things to slow down when I felt stressed, and I didn't know I was kind of calming my nervous system, but I know I was doing something for myself, and I needed to do that things. So yeah, there has been moments in my life where I felt really stressed, and others when I felt completely relaxed and I was living like a really, I don't know how to say it in English, but like I was the king of calmness and
Yeah.
minimalism, you know? Like I was meditating and these things, but and I also want to say that, for example, meditating, it doesn't work for me because I don't like it. But I feel other activities in my life like meditating, like for
Mm.
example walking without nothing or just thinking. I really like to walk because I let myself to think and to gain some clarity in my mind. So yeah, that's meditation for me, for example. And yeah, that's all I have to say.
Yeah, also like maybe it is good to share our ages, because now I realize when I said like how did you, because when I think about my young years, I am 32 years old. How old are you, Adrian?
22.
Yeah, so maybe it will give also insight for our audience, because when I talk about my younger ages, maybe it is where Adrian is at
Like
now.
my
So
yeah.
exactly, so he is such a mature human being. But I just wanted to share this, so
Yeah,
when we share our
yeah, you're
experiences,
right.
so people also can relate to what we have been sharing. So
Yeah,
yeah,
you're right because when I talk about my younger age, it's like 15 or
it's my
14.
childhood.
So, yeah, it's like I was thinking in the high school, and I mean, I'm not that old, but I can talk about my
Mm,
teenage years. Yeah, I'm only 22, so
yeah.
I have a lot of things to learn as everyone in life, but
Yeah,
yeah.
of course. Like age is just a number, but the experience I think matters sometimes. It's been such a great talk. I really enjoyed our talk today. Thank you,
Yeah.
Adrian.
It was nice. And to whoever that is listening to us, feel free to share with us the things that you do, or if you were aware of your nervous system, your routine, or yeah, what do you do to manage this autopilot thing in your daily life? So yeah.
Thank you so much. Take care. And if you go for a walk or meditate or do something for the first time in your life to slow down, let us know.
So yeah, have a great week. See you next week.
See you.
Bye.